through the back. So we creepin', caps are blue, so you know that we peeking in our bag for the night. What a feeling.
Welcome to another episode of 7 p.m. I'm your host, Steve. That's my dog, Scooter.
Yes, sir.
And today we got Trav here with us. What up, Trav?
Clap it up for Trav.
What up,
What up,
Trav?
Trav?
Let's go. What's up, boy? What's up, man? So this is the second time Travis is here with us on the episode. So he is a frequent podcaster now.
Yep.
Yeah, you can add that to your resume, Chubbs. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
But today, man, Travis is getting ready to go to high school. So we thought that it would be a good time to discuss certain things that kids go through. And when going to high school could be very difficult. Yeah. It can, people can be very intimidating. It can be very intimidating itself. And one of the big things that being in high school or going to high school you're going to face is bullying. Yeah. So I think this episode is a good time to discuss this. It's not for just parents. It's for anyone who is a caregiver, and it's for anyone who sees this. I mean, because a lot of people, I feel like we fall short to paying attention to bullying and calling it out. Yeah. So this episode, I just wanted us to discuss bullying and how it affects us or how it has affected us, and then just get a perspective of how kids see bullying. Hence why we have Travis on the episode, so he can discuss what he's faced, and how he can, how we can make a change as parents or as caregivers, and spotting bullying and doing that,
and to show support, to the next generation. What I've seen is a lot of times that kids will come to their parents or to an adult or an authoritative figure and, express what they're going through. And a lot of times we either don't take it seriously, we take it as a grain of salt, don't believe them or whatever. But I think just echoing that we are a pillar of support for the younger kids is important.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I do think like there's a lot of parents are not to be faulted because a lot of parents are busy. They're busy.
Absolutely.
They have things that's going on with their lives. So It's kind of like, and some parents just don't have that relationship with their kids.
Yeah.
We're just going to call it what it is.
That's true.
So certain parents don't have that relationship with their kids, so they can't have that conversation, or their kids don't feel comfortable enough to come to them and say, hey, dad, mom, this is bothering me, or granddad, or it's whoever is the caregiver in the house. They don't have that relationship. So I feel like with this episode, it'll definitely bring light to if you haven't spoken to your kids about bullying, or either they're the one bullying people, or they're the ones getting bullied. So if you haven't, this episode is to shake shit up and have that conversation, that tough conversation with your kids regarding bullying.
Yep.
Yeah. So without further ado, let's get right into it like we always do.
Let's jump into it, man. So Trav, man, how does it feel? You're getting close to high school, right? Mm-hmm. Time is flying. Does it feel like time is flying for you?
It does. It certainly does. It felt like I just started school, but it was in like a couple months now.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. You and my niece are very close in age, so I just the growth, seeing the growth is just mind blowing to me. And man, we're different age, so me and your pops really want to get the perspective from you and kids your age. So just talk to us about how you personally define bullying.
Now, me, I define bullying in more depth. I feel like there's more things to bullying. Some bullies, they have something going on. So they try and inflict pain to other people from the way they feel. But then some people just bully because that's just the way they are. But there's different ways you can handle it and different ways to do it.
Yeah. So within that, then what are the different, I guess you touched on like why people act differently or why they bully, but what are some different types of bullying that you've noticed?
The different type of bullying I've seen, the only bullying I haven't seen before was physically bullying. I've never seen anybody physically put their hands on somebody or try to inflict any pain on anybody physically with fists. But I have seen real life bullying, like mental bullying, face to face bullying, and cyberbullying. I have seen those.
What
And
do
it's
you?
sad.
Oh, sorry to cut you off. But what do you see the most? Because when you say that, I just have flashbacks, right? So when we were growing up,
Right.
obviously there wasn't cyberbullying, but
At all.
there was, I would say, more physical bullying.
Absolutely.
There was more physical bullying, definitely face to face. Definitely, you got your loud mouths, you got your people who are more like mischievous and tricky with their bullying. But definitely, I feel like we saw more like face to face bullying. So you're saying there's not much physical though?
No, not much physical I've seen ever really in my entire time of going to school. I haven't really seen anything physical or remember anything physical.
I wonder why that is.
I don't know. It's different. These kids are. You know what? I think these kids are different nowadays. Like
That's a fact.
And I feel like nowadays it's much more of a cyberbully
Yeah.
day and age that we're in. Because you know why? Because back in the day when we grew up, Scooter, if you bullied someone, you would have to do it in person.
You have to. You have the choice.
Right. And if you did, there's a potential that you may get punched in your mouth.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I feel like nowadays why you won't see a lot of physical bullying is because a lot of people, they're afraid. They're afraid of getting punched in the mouth or getting in trouble per se. I mean, so it's easier to hide behind a computer or hide behind Instagram or whatever you want to hide behind a phone and bully someone. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's much more easier. It takes it. All it is I'm typing a word and doing that. And a lot of times, a lot of people don't understand the ramifications behind that and how you're actually affecting someone by doing that. You know what I'm saying? So, so I think that's why nowadays, physical bullying, which I do. He's in what, middle school, what we call it? Yeah, I mean, so I think in middle school it's a little different. In high school, I think you'll probably see that maybe more,
a little bit more,
because the kids are bigger and much more aggression.
Yeah, a lot more emotions and stuff going on.
Right. So I think you'll probably be prone to seeing it more in high school than middle school.
Yeah, that's true. I guess you don't have really much of a choice with the cyberbullying being such a thing. It's just it's really hard for me to wrap my head around it, honestly. But is this something that you and your friends talk about?
No, not really. None of them really pay any mind to it. Even friends with somebody that's being bullied, because I have seen it happen before and I dealt with it. They never really say anything about it. Like, they don't reach out to anybody, try and help out their own friend or anything like that. And it's kind of sad to see that when your own friend will try and stick up to you or try and help you with something like that.
Yeah.
So with that situation, can you kind of explain to us what happened, or without naming any names?
I'm not
gonna say anything.
Let's leave the names out of it. I know how, because when I tell stories, sometimes I like using names. So let's leave the names out of it. But go ahead.
I think this happened like sometime last week or the week before this.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
There was this kid in my class who was being bullied because people were saying he smelled, he need to take a shower, buy some soap or something like that. And to be honest with you, he didn't smell. He didn't smell. He smelled perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And he was genuinely a good person.
Right.
So they were just picking on him.
They was just picking on him because he was a very quiet, self-toned person.
Right.
And I feel like kids nowadays don't ever pick on anybody their size. They always try and pick on the underdogs or pick on somebody who's soft.
Yeah.
And basically what happened, they were making fun of him the one day. I didn't see it. One of my friends told me. So the next day after that, they did it again in the hallway, transferring to like classes.
Oh yeah.
I felt disgusted, to be honest with you. Like, I felt pain in my chest. So I went up to my principal. I was like, yo, that happened. And they took over the weekend. And I'm actually happy that I did that, because I was chilling with him the one day and he was cool.
Yeah.
He was genuinely chill. Like, he likes to play video games. The average middle schooler.
Yeah. And Travis did bring this home and he told us about it. It made me proud.
Yeah.
It made me proud. I will say that it made me proud because at the end of the day, we live in a world where when things like that happen, people are so quick, instead of stepping up, and we see it all the time, Scooter.
All the time.
They pull out their phones first.
Yep.
Someone's getting beat up. Someone's getting mauled.
Like bad.
Yeah. What do people do? They pull out their phones. And which causes further humiliation.
It causes further humiliation, and the fact that your brain goes to that first
Right.
Not even pulling out the phone for help.
Right.
Which could be like quicker than you pulling out the phone, record, try to upload it, and then try to get some help.
Right. Yeah. So for me, it made me proud to know that, you know, I've done my job as a parent to where it's like my son has seen something which he felt that was wrong.
Yeah.
And he said, you know what?
Felt it in his chest.
Right. This is not right.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring it to the authorities. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To an authority figure.
Yeah.
I mean, so for me, it definitely did make me proud. And I want to say that a lot of these schools, man, I do feel like they need to take accountability as far as controlling what bullying is, or reaching out to the kids' parents regarding bullying, and just have a no tolerance. Regarding bullying. You know what I mean? Because I feel like a lot of these schools, they take it light. Oh, kids are just being kids. Kids are just being kids until it's not that anymore.
Yeah. And like you said too earlier, like the capacity, speaking to the capacity, like these teachers and these administrators have so much on their plates already.
Right.
You know, they're not getting their budgets and all that stuff. Sometimes they just don't have the wherewithal to do it, you know, to put these systems in place or to have these conversations with parents or, you know, to continue to reiterate themselves. So I will give them some grace on that end, but you're absolutely right. Something needs to change.
Yeah.
Something absolutely needs to change.
Absolutely.
So I got a question though for you, Steve, like being a proud moment, you know, that was there a moment of preparation or have you guys had conversations leading up to a moment? Like if you notice this, or if you see something that's not right, you know, act in this way, go to this person, or, you know, defend yourself, or
yes, me and Travis, we talk about it all the time. We talk about we talk about a lot of things. I think me and Travis are very open. I'm very transparent with him. I don't try to hide the world from him, because I'd rather him learn the world with me than him learning the world without me by himself outside of this. So we definitely have conversation about that. And I always tell him like, hey man, and not even conversation. I think he sees how I, you know what I mean, how I move. And it's kind of like, I'm always nice to people. I'm always respectful to people. And, you know, and he's seen it be like, damn dad, like people love you and people, you know, respect you. And I was like, the reason why people respect me because I treat people like an equal. I don't walk around and act like I'm better than people. I know, like, okay, I have more money than certain people, but I don't act like I'm better than them. I help people out. You know what I mean? And that's always one of those things I've always instilled in him. Like, yo, listen, man, you're a fortunate kid. You have the newer sneakers. You always have a fresh haircut. You always dress well. You always smell well. You mean like a lot of these kids don't have that luxury. A lot of these kids don't know when their next meal is coming. A lot of these kids don't have fresh sneakers. They get maybe one or maybe two pair of sneakers, if that, for the whole year. You know what I'm saying? They don't have birthday parties. They don't have none of these type of things. They don't get haircuts every other week. I mean, so it's kind of like these things, you're fortunate. So when you see a kid has that, it's kind of like, all right, cool. Like when the kid doesn't have that, it's kind of like, yo, man, like, let me help them. Let me see what they need. You know, so in the morning, sometimes, like, you know, he'll bring, if there's just extra food here, he'll bring lunches or bring snacks to give out to his friends and give out to kids that don't have it. And it's kind of like, yo, that's how we move around here. It's just something, for me, I feel like that's something that starts at home.
Absolutely.
Starts at home. You teach your kids how to respect everyone, how to show love to everyone, and the universe gives that back.
It does.
I mean, and people respect you more, and people show you more love. It's kind of like, yo, Travis. Oh, that's Travis. Yo, Travis is a good person. This and that. You mean? So it's kind of like it comes back full circle, even though it may not happen right away, but I do feel like it happens throughout the time.
And people will always remember how you made them feel.
Correct.
So, you know, homie that you said you kicked it with, talked about video games and all that stuff that everybody was talking about. He'll remember you sitting down and just talking to him for a long time. And you know, that moment too, circling back, Travis, like you said that you felt good after you made that decision. When you made that decision, was, you know, the conversations and the experiences that, you know, you and your father have had, were those in your mind when you made that decision? Or like, what was your thought process when you went to, you know, the authoritative figure?
To be honest with you, my entire thought process with dealing with what happened or what I've witnessed of what happened to this kid, it was like, I just want to help him.
Yeah.
I want to help him. I want to make sure he's cool. Like every time I see him, be like, "Yo, you good? You need anything? Like I'm here. We can chill." You know.
Yeah.
And I always wanted there to be with him because like he's like he just be sitting alone, and I'm like, dang, because I chill with him. He's cool, but he still be sitting alone, and his friends sitting at the other side of class. I'm like, y'all friends, but y'all sit next to each other or talk to each other. So no, I'm gonna take y'all place and help him with that, and ask him if he's cool, if he needs anything, if he needs help. That's what I've been trying to do with him, and that's what was really going through my mind when I deal with that bullying and reaching out to the principal.
Yeah. Wow. So have you noticed what type of bullying impacts your peers the most? Would you say it's cyberbullying is like the biggest impactful form of bullying, or what have you noticed has been impacted your friends or people that you know at school?
I'd probably say cyberbullying.
Why? Like, it's hard for me. No BS. It's just hard for me to like wrap my brain around it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, it's really hard. So you got to help me understand, like, how does this like happen? How is this like continue to get perpetuated? Especially like if people are saying stuff online and not going to like pull up on you or share that same energy to you in person, like just please help me understand, Travis.
You got
I got something more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got it.
Other eye. There we go. Yeah, you good. Cool. I can't let you on camera like that. Thank you. You're welcome. All right, but
Good friends.
Yeah. Well, go ahead, Trav.
Basically, most of the reason why people do cyberbullying is because they're just jealous. Like they're jealous that you're doing good at school or you're good at something or you have something that they don't have. And with that in your mind, they're like, dang. See, now they making me feel bad because they got good stuff or they're doing better than me at something. So I want to make them feel bad also. Like that's what goes through people's mind when they see this and they want something but other people have it. They kind of feel jealous and they would want revenge. And that's really what most of the time happens. Or some people just don't like people for like no reason. Like they just hate on people for no reason. That's another thing I really hate about bullying and people nowadays. They just hate other people for no reason. Like they ain't doing nothing or even really know the person. They just hate them.
Right. And you know what? That's funny you say that because you know, us having this podcast, we face that, you know. There's people that say the most nastiest things as adults. I mean, they say the most nastiest things. And honestly, I feel like adults are actually worse than the kids.
I think so, man.
You know,
Yeah.
Because bullying comes in all different shapes and sizes.
Yep.
And I feel like adults, they say the most nastiest things, like, you know, and I've posted some of it. You know, I had said something about like the NBA finals were boring or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And people,
man, the Angel Reese stuff.
Oh my God, man. People say the most nastiest stuff. They call me the N-word.
Yep.
Oh, I don't know this, I don't know that. And oh, go kill myself and all that type of stuff. And one thing I want to say, and I'm going to look into the camera, man. One thing I want to say, man, like before you post certain things on social media, before you do this stuff, think about it. Think about how it affects someone. Think about what it does to someone's spirit. A lot of people don't have tough skin and can't say, you know what? Whatever, I don't care. And even when sometimes someone says they don't care, they actually do care because some of the stuff you guys say, it's very hurtful. Yeah. And to be honest with you, it's okay just not to say anything at all. Sometimes I feel some type of way about some things on social media. And you know what I do? I hit up Scooter. Yeah. And I say, yo, you seen this? This is crazy. This is wild. I think this of that person. Yep. And I keep it amongst us. I don't need the world to see my comment because at the end of the day, it's kind of like they don't care.
Yeah.
The world doesn't care what you have to say, to be honest with you. I mean, to be honest, like certain people, like their opinions don't really matter. Like, I mean, no one's taking your opinion to account and be like, you know what? Oh, this person said this. Oh, I'm going to change them. You know, no, man. So it's kind of like, just be mindful, man. Just be mindful of the stuff you put on social media. And also remember, once you put that on social media, it lives forever.
It does.
Lives forever, man. So definitely want to say that to the adults and
yeah, just to piggyback off that too, it's similar to bullying, right? Because you get these people on social media who will come at you all sideways, right, off the rip. And then when you address them in a way that's either polite or that matches their energy, then they back down very quickly.
Yeah.
Just like a bully would.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I have faced it. And what I do, I mean, I have a podcast. A lot of people are going to be critical of me. Some people are going to think I suck. Some people are going to think I'm good. Some people are not going to think anything at all. And you know,
come at it all angles.
Right. And then for me also, it's kind of like whatever you think of me, as long as you're watching, thank you.
Thank you.
I mean, thank you. I don't care what you have to think. I mean, like at the end of the day, I'm here. We're growing every day. It's getting better every day, and we're growing here. You mean I'm not perfect, but for me, I've faced it to where someone said something nasty to me, and normally I will not say anything unless it's something like egregious, something wild.
Yeah.
Then I respond back. Most of the time I'd be like, yo, thanks, bro. All good, bro. Yeah. And sometimes,
thanks for watching.
Right. Sometimes people will be like, yo, I've had a couple of folks be like, yo, man, I'm sorry I came at you sideways, man. I love what you're doing. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Thank you for not meeting me on that level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like, yo, why am I doing that? So for me, I would say as someone, if someone is bullying you, it's kind of like ignore it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's the best way, unless they put their hands on you.
Yeah.
And that's a whole nother topic of himself. Because, I mean, Travis, I know when you seen the kid getting bullied, part of you did want to put your hands on him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think stopped you from putting your hands on him?
The real thing that stopped me is I realistically had no reason to really put my hands on him, and it wouldn't have benefited me at all.
Right.
And to be honest with you, it would have downgraded me a lot with my future and a lot of things. So thinking of that and also thinking what was going to happen afterwards, I was like, I'm gonna take the safe option and go report this to my principal instead of throwing hands and trying to take care of it myself. Right. I went to go talk to somebody of what's happening and what exactly happened, giving them more definition of what was happening, and yeah, that's really all I did.
Yeah. In the midst of all that, because you said you had a lot of emotions running, right? Mm-hmm. Chest was tight. Like, I'm sure you were angry. You have reached a point of anger. Like, how did you remain mindful in that situation? Because that's a skill in itself, to be able to keep your emotions and your anger at bay and make the more responsible and mature decision.
To be honest with you, I just really thought of what was going to happen in the future. Like, all the different things that I could have done. I thought what was going to happen in the future, what's going to happen to your father from like a year now, and how it's going to affect me. And that all brought up to me just reporting it to the principal instead of like just trying to throw hands, yell at them, or just let it happen. I actually went to go to the principal, reported, and told him what happened.
Yeah, that's great, man. That's good.
And I'm gonna tell y'all this. And I'm a real parent. I'm a real parent. I am a real parent. I do this. This is not, I don't do it for play. I don't do it for fun. I don't do it for social media. I am a parent and I love my kids. If you think you're going to come out here and bully my child, and I don't condone violence. I do not condone violence. But if someone puts their hands on my child, or someone puts their hands on my child, they're going to have to put their hands on me.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep it 100 with you. I know it's not the answer. Now a lot of y'all going to be like, oh no, you're a bad parent and this and that.
This is real life.
Kiss my black ass. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. You know what I mean, he's heard that word before. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna be honest with y'all. You touch my kid, you gonna touch me. And if you touch me, I'm gonna touch you. I'm beating up daddies. I'm beating up granddaddies.
Uncles.
I'm beating up uncles. I'm beating up godfathers. I'm beating up cousins. And then you bring your mama. I'm bringing my girl. She gonna beat your mama up and your auntie and your grandmama up. I'm not playing with y'all, man. Don't play with my kids, man. Don't play with my kids. And that's the passion that all parents need to have for their kids.
Absolutely.
Do not let nobody play with your kids, man.
Nah.
Like and that's the way I feel about my kids, man. Don't play about my kids.
Have you found yourself in that situation before?
No, thank
Good.
God.
Good. Yeah,
thank
yeah,
God. I have not. I try to handle things I'm a calm person.
Yeah.
I mean, you know me, Scoot. Like,
Yep.
I try to handle things very level-headed. When Travis came to me and told me about the bully situation, he told me that a part of him did want to put hands on the kid. And I told him, I said, nah, don't ever put your hands on someone unless they put their hands on you.
Yeah.
If you got to defend yourself, defend yourself. But other than that, your first thought should be to try to resolve the situation in a civilized manner,
Yep.
which is going to the proper authorities. And he came to me, he came to his mom. His mom sent an email to the school on the behalf of Travis and on the behalf of the kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and I think that's kind of the best way to handle this situation is just trying to get in front of it before it leads
It could snowball.
to fighting.
It could snowball.
Because I feel
bad.
like that's what happens. A lot of parents are knowing, like, oh, you fine. Don't worry about it. Toughen up or whatever the case may be. Like, nah, you know what? Let's discuss the situation. Because when it comes to you're going to face bullying in multi different facets when it comes to maybe your career, job, at work. You know what I mean? Like these
All
things
levels, man.
in all levels. So you got to find a way, and you're not going to go to work and one of your coworkers is bullying you and punch him in the face.
Yeah.
You're not going to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to do that. You're going to go to your coworker and have a conversation with him, or go to HR,
Yep.
or go to your boss or someone. So at the end of the day, these are the type of kids that we're trying to raise, and these are the type of kids that we want to have, and they'll have a bright future by being able to communicate their feelings and not just going to just punch someone in the face first and ask questions later.
Ask questions later.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So, Travis, I want to also hear from your perspective because we're on something good here. How do you feel, from the perspective of you about to go into high school? Like, how can parents and caregivers, and people in authoritative positions, how can they help these kids not only with dealing with bullying, but also help kids like not become bullies?
And kids that do become bullies, most of the reason why is because something's happening at home,
Yeah.
or they feel left out, or something's just happening to them.
Mm-hmm.
And like principals or teachers, they should really like check up on their students if they're okay, be by their students' side, so that so the students open up for anything. Like, so students can tell them what happened, or like if they feel lonely or anything, so I can stop bullying. And dealing with bullying, that should be like a whole lesson for itself. Like dealing with bullying, it should be a whole thing that should happen. Like, should be a whole event, and that's really it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I like that.
Yeah, I like that. I think a lot of schools need to have like events like, no bullying, and just pretty much just have a zero tolerance.
Yeah.
Because there's no room for that. I
Yeah.
mean, like schools is enough and hard enough as it is.
for
man.
everybody
For
involved. man.
everybody involved. And just imagine going to high school. Do you remember high school? How tough high school was, man?
High school was tough, man.
It's tough because you're going through so much your hormones, and you're going through puberty and
Yeah.
just
Start
so
seeing life differently. Like you're
Right.
growing up.
right.
Yeah, you're
And
growing
then and you don't have that your parents are no longer babying you anymore. You're starting to get that freedom.
Yep.
And sometimes, and a lot of parents, they get this messed up. A lot of parents, just because you give your child that freedom doesn't mean that they're okay. I mean, sometimes too much freedom, it's not always a good thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes kids want you to check up on them.
Yeah.
Kids want you to help them with certain things because at the end of the day, they don't know how to handle it because they've never faced it before.
Absolutely.
So I do think a lot of parents need to not just you're in high school now, you're an adult. There you go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just throw you out there.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
so that kids still need help with going to college. I mean, so but when going back to high school, like you gotta continue to give your kids that help and be there for them. Yes, they're not babies, but they're still your baby.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I definitely do think that that's something that definitely needs to continue to happen.
How do you think to just continue on like programs and stuff in school, but like how do you think, Steve, like as parents, that parents could come together more and be like so supportive of kids? I know like community is a big part of that, and
Absolutely.
we're lacking a lot of that in today's world. But like on top of like community, how do you see like where parents can stick together and be supportive of these kids?
For me, it's just asking the questions, just asking the tough questions. Like, I mean, like for me and Travis, like, you know, we spend a lot of time together, whether it's we playing basketball or whether we're the car rides. And, you know, sometimes the car rides are quiet. We listen to music, and sometimes we have our conversations like, yo, dog, how do you feel about this? Like, you know, what's happening? Or sometimes I overhear stuff and overhear him talking with his friends. And, you know, one of his friends, you know, said, oh, they're not really his friend, or one of his friends are hating on him. And I overhear that, and I just don't overhear it and just leave it alone. I overhear it and I ask some questions. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think when these parents, when they go to the school for school night and this and that, they need to ask the teachers about these type of things that's going on. Like, hey, how's the atmosphere in the classroom? How's the atmosphere in the school? You know, and I think as schools, they need to make that a section and like, hey, you know, if your child is facing bullies or being bullied, tell them to come to this, tell them to come to that. They should have some type of bully prevention, or the guidance counselor should have that, hey, yo, we're facing this, this is what's happening, and have like a round table or something like that. It just needs to be talked about. I feel like it's not talked about enough until the problem is happening. Yep. You know what I mean? I feel
then it's
like
too late.
Yes, then it's too late.
Yeah.
But there needs to be some type of prevention for it, because there's a lot of times where it's like the school says, well, this didn't happen on school grounds, so we can't do anything.
Can't do
about
anything.
it.
Yeah.
And that's BS.
Yeah, it is.
That's BS, because at the end of the day, it stems from school.
Yeah.
Because if this student didn't go to this school and that student didn't go to school, they wouldn't know each other.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it stems from them knowing each other at school, but it doesn't happen on school grounds, but it's affecting them in school, because this is where I see them. Because if I don't see them, then it doesn't matter in a sense. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't affect me as much, but I see them, and now that's happening. So I think all of that, it just needs to be, conversation needs to happen, communication, and just awareness. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yeah, that's great answer. Lastly, for me, like what I want to pick Travis's brain a little bit more about now. Like we talked about the parents, the caregivers, and the authoritative figures. How can like students band together and help stand up and support each other, and really just promote kindness and unity within the confines of the school?
And really, it just matters about it matters about being nice. Like there's not many people that stand up or actually go to somebody who's being bullied and be like, you okay? Like, you want to chill or hang out? Like, even people who are friends with that person, are seeing them bullied, they just sit there and act blind, like nothing absolutely happened or they didn't see anything. And for me, that hurts to see somebody who's quote-unquote friends aren't around them or helping them. And it really just starts from one person. If a person sees another person be nice, they're going to be like, dang, let me try and do that out, Or they could protest, because we have done that before. And protesting against people who have bullied can make a big effect, especially with principals or like CEOs seeing us throughout the hallways. Then they'll make a huge change of what's happening in the school that they didn't know about. And it really just starts from one student to change a lot of things.
Yeah. Talk to me about the protests that you mentioned. How did that come about? And why? Like, what forced that to happen?
So what basically happened was this very nice teacher got fired for just sending an email with a funny meme. Like, it was a meme from a Kendrick Lamar song. He got fired, and then everybody liked him, so they started protesting during like the end of the school year. And they're protesting out of school, in school. Like, kids were skipping class, protesting in the hallways, sitting in the hallways, while the principal and the CEO were just sitting there telling them to move, and they wasn't. They were genuinely sitting down and locking their hands together, telling them that what they did was wrong. And that was actually kind of nice to see that, because he genuinely was fired for no reason.
Wow.
And it was nice to see that happen.
Yeah. And I'll attest to this guiding counselor, great guy.
Yeah.
Great guy. We went to the high school convention, and meanwhile, this guy doesn't work for the school anymore, but he was still there helping us out. He helped us out and pointing us to the right direction, to where it's like, what schools that, Travis should apply to. What should he go to? This school? No, don't do that. I mean, so it's kind of like, this guy loves the kids. He loves the kids. And I think that, in today's society, we have a lot of people doing the jobs, but we don't have the people that love their job.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just doing it for a paycheck. And I'll say this, a lot of teachers are underpaid. They're not well taken care of. The school system, certain schools get more money than others and they get more grants and all this stuff. So, and it opened my eyes doing this high school tour, seeing how all these schools are it's just kind of like, the lights, when you walk in there, it looks like you walked into like Home Depot or Walmart.
Yeah.
Like the lights are just dim and you know what I mean? And it's just dark. I mean, it's kind of like, damn, like
concrete, like.
Right. I mean, it's kind of like, where's the growth? Where's the, like, I'm excited to be here. It's just kind of like it's dark. And when you walk into somewhere and the lights is grim and it's just dark, it's just kind of like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to learn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but going back to that, the guidance counselor, he was a great guy. Like, and he loved his job and he was still here helping kids on a Saturday.
Yeah.
On a Saturday, he pulled up Friday and he pulled up Saturday, and he was putting Instagram videos saying, "Hey, parents, this is what you do. This is what you shouldn't do." So that man deserved his job.
Yeah.
I mean, that man, regardless of what he's done,
more of him, man, for real.
regardless of what he did or what he's done that rubbed people wrong, which was nothing. That man deserved his job, and whatever school ever got this man, gets this guy, they're very fortunate because he actually gives a damn about these kids. You know what I mean, so yeah,
Hard to come by, man.
facts.
More of the story, yo. Show love, y'all.
Right.
We don't need more bullies. We need more love, compassion, and unity. And man, like, be there for your kids. Listen to your kids. Like, they try to tell you stuff. They try to open up. They try to, reach a safe space. Just pay attention to your kids. Pay attention to the students that you have in your classrooms. Pay attention to the students that are looking up to you, and your actions and all that stuff matters, man. Have real conversations, but just show love, y'all.
Right, fact. And just to give you guys some statistics, bullying is the cause of a lot of suicidal death. A lot of kids face it all day, every day. A lot of kids don't have an outlet to release their frustrations, and the bullying never stops. It doesn't stop, and it doesn't stop. So, reading here, suicide death due to bullying is the third leading cause of deaths amongst young people. You know what I mean? Resulting in about 4,400 deaths per year, according to the CDC.
Wow.
For every suicide among young people, there are at least 100 suicide attempts. Over 14% of high school students have considered suicide, and almost 7% of them have attempted it.
Dang.
Bullying victims are between 2 to 9 times more likely to consider suicide than non-victims, according to studies in Yale University. So that just goes to show you, man, like, this is a real thing. This is
repercussions, man.
This is really happening out here, and it can be prevented by a simple thing of a conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and so it's for me, just have that conversation with your kids. You mean, because sometimes you think your kid is an angel and he may be the bully.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Travis is a great kid, but I don't know whether he was a bully unless, I had that conversation with him, and I pay attention to his actions and see how he acts around other kids and see how he respects and all that. So at the end, they pay attention to your kids, man. See what's going on.
Yep.
I mean, it goes both ways. It goes that way with the schools. It goes that way with the parents. You guys, everyone needs to take accountability for these kids and make sure these kids are doing the right thing and respecting people the right way.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Very well said.
Mm-hmm.
And Travis' way to handle that situation, man, that's really cool.
Thank you.
You're really gonna, that kid's gonna remember that for a long time, for a long, long time. So keep riding for the good fight, man.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. So high school's coming. You mean high school's coming, Trav? You mean are you ready? What do you think? What do you think high school consists of? What do you?
I think high school is just middle school, but like 10 times harder.
times
Like
harder.
more work, more difficult work, new things happening, more people.
Right.
Like, it's gonna be very more difficult for me, and I'm kind of ready, but kind of not at the same time, because I'm already like kind of struggling, not struggling, but like there's some things that are difficult here and there in middle school. So imagine that with more classes in high school. Like that's gonna affect some kids in a bad way, being like stressed and all that with tests, assignments, how to do this, that at like the same day.
Right.
It's gonna affect some kids the wrong way.
Right. Yeah, no, it is. I'll say this. I mean, when I went to high school, it was a lot for me. I didn't know what to expect. I came from a school that was really small, and I went to a very big high school, and the demographics, it was predominantly white.
It's a shock. Yeah.
That's my initial high school before I moved to Philly, and it was a shock. I didn't know what to do. Go to classes and bell ringing. I got to go to gym. I got to get dressed. I'm sweating. I mean, I got to go to lunch. Like, it's just a lot for no dog. It was a lot. I was sweating. I mean, like it was a lot. And then on top of all that, then you got to deal with girls. I mean, there's girls now, and you mean your hormones, and you're going through puberty, and you're just kind of like, oh, this girl looks good. I want to date her, and this and that. Like,
mad curious.
It's just you're curious, curiosity, and all that. So it is a tough time. What I will say to you, Travis, is kind of like you have parents, you have people you can lean on, people you can talk to, and I think you need to use your resources and talk to us and let us know, hey, yo, I'm having a difficult time with XYZ. I mean, it does you better if you come to us than not come to us. You know what I'm saying? To us, because at the end of the day, we don't have all the answers. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's better to have other people behind you and by your side helping you figure things out than doing it alone. You know what I'm saying? So I'll definitely say that.
Yeah. It's definitely okay to ask for help.
Yeah.
Definitely
for sure. But yeah, Scooter, when you was in high school, how was it for you?
Man, I always went, like I went to a big middle school. I went to some big elementary schools. I moved around a lot. So the diversity piece and all that stuff, like I was good with that. The biggest shock was the hormones and the changes and like all of the, I didn't know how to handle like that, the internal like sudden changes.
Right.
Also, like I was like a late bloomer, so I didn't grow till like junior year of high school. So seeing everybody sprouting up beside me, I was like, golly, when my turn gonna happen? It ain't happen.
No, stayed short forever.
Stayed short, man. Stayed short. So the growth spurt never came.
Right.
But in all seriousness, time management was a big shock for me. Like you said, there's more classes, there's more work. I was in some honors classes, took some AP classes, some regular classes, but playing football, baseball, wrestling every day after school or something. If it's not school wrestling, if it's not school baseball, then it's town baseball. So it's like sometimes you might have 2 practices after school, and then got to come back and do your homework, and it's 11 o'clock at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
Or you got 2 games and you got a test tomorrow, and you haven't even cracked the book open to study because you're worried about. I got 2 games to play.
I got 2 games to play, and I gotta bust somebody's. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So balancing, those responsibilities was probably the roughest part. But the biggest thing I took from that was time management, and time management takes you a long way in life. Yeah. Good time management take you a long way in life, and just being able to compartmentalize where you need to be. But the bottom line with all of that is just staying present and like staying focused. Yeah. If you get too far ahead of yourself, that's where the stress comes. Yeah. If you think like, oh damn, like, man, I can't wait for the playoffs to start, basketball season. That's when you start messing up, missing shots, and you got to like really stay present and where you're at. Right. Because you can get lost in the sauce, and it's easy to get lost in the sauce in high school. Right, for sure. It's everywhere you turn is sauce. Right.
Yeah. There's always something going on. Yeah. I mean, so
discipline too.
Right. Yeah. But it's also a fun time also.
It was maybe the most fun.
Yeah. It's also I think those 4 years are probably the most funnest times in your life before reality sets in.
Before real reality sets in.
Because that's what I'll tell you, Travis, like that is enjoy it those 4
Enjoy it,
years
man.
because after that it's college.
Yeah.
And then after college, and then once you're in college, it's kind of like, oh, the training wheels are off.
Yeah, they off.
Yeah, they're off.
And it's tricky because if you don't know how to keep that bike steady,
Right.
you're gonna bust your ass.
right.
Bust your ass. Them training wheels is
Right.
off.
The training wheels is off, man.
That,
so
that
it's kinda,
freedom is
right. Now you paying bills.
Yeah.
Now you doing this. Now you
Yep.
doing that. Like, now you got to go to college. Now
Budgeting.
you budgeting. And it's reality saying in because it's kind of like when you go to college now, it's kind of like, yo, man, you paying for this.
absolutely.
So if
and you don't have no bread.
Right, and you don't have no money. I mean, there's student loans. So if you fail, that's all on you.
Yeah.
You wasting your own money. You know what I mean? You ever you ever threw money in the trash, then that's gonna be throwing money in the trash. So for me, what I'll say, my son, is definitely enjoy it. It's gonna be a special 4 years, and just know you got people that got your back, that's rooting for you. And don't ever change who you are. Continue to be the person that you are. I am proud of you. You never fail to amaze me with how kind you are, how good you are, and don't ever let a bad person change who you are. Always stay who you are and true to yourself. I know as you're getting older, people change, people evolve, people become jaded, people go through things in life that makes them different, or makes them act different, or friends make them be this person. Always stay genuine who you are. Don't let anyone change who you are. Because I've prided myself on being the same person all the time, regardless who it is and what it is. And Scooter is the same way. That's why a lot of people love him, and that's why a lot of people love us.
Absolutely.
And I don't see you being any different than that.
No, man.
All right.
Another thing that I'll leave you with that I wish I took more seriously when I was heading into high school is you're not the situations that you're in. You are how you react to the situations that you're in. Right. So just like your pop saying, keep that level head, keep being you. And we waver. We're human beings. We're gonna slip. We're gonna fall sometimes. We're gonna mess up. We're gonna take a couple steps back, just to take 3 steps forward. But stay who you are. Stay kind. Stay compassionate. It's all gonna work out, man.
Right. So yeah. Is there anything you want to leave the people with, Trav, before we get out of here?
No, nothing.
Nah, nothing.
Just be yourself.
Just be yourself. Yeah.
Way to go, man. Yeah,
good job,
great.
man.
Yeah.
Good job, brother. I mean, I'm proud of you, man. Great episode. Scooty, you got anything to leave the folks with, man?
Hey, man, y'all know what to do. Get your aunties on the phone. Get your mamas, your sisters, your grandmamas on the phone. Tell them they need to hit the subscribe, man. The holiday season is coming up. We don't ask for gifts. We don't ask for the bling bling. We ask for a
Just give a brother a subscribe.
and a share. It take
And a
2
share.
seconds,
Take
man.
2
Come on,
seconds.
man.
Yeah,
But y'all be safe. Holiday season is approaching.
Absolutely.
Traveling is approaching. So yeah, everybody be safe, man. Steve, my dog. We got another one, man.
Yeah, we got another one. And before I get out of here, man, I just want to let y'all know, I'm going to leave y'all with this, man. Guys, we have kids. They don't ask to be here. We brought them here. Do right by them. Show them the way. Lead them. Don't let these kids lead us. Don't let them out here by themselves. Mm-hmm. This bullying stuff, it's tough. These kids are going through so much stuff at school and all that stuff, and they're going through stuff at home. And maybe it could be you as a parent that's putting all that weight on them, so that's why they're going through this. Talk to your kids. Show them love. Find out what's happening. I understand we're busy. We got so many things going on. But at the end of the day, they're here because of us. So at the end of the day, take care of your kids. Be in their lives. Show them respect. Show them love. Show that everyone is equal, whether they have money or they don't. We all equal. We all go through the same pain. We all cry. We all laugh. We all smile. We all go through that. I'm going to leave y'all with that. I love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning into another episode.
Yes, sir.
I'm Steve. That's Scooter.
Scoochie.
That's my son Travis. And we out here.
Y'all be safe, man. Love.
We out. Love.
We out.
Pew, pew.